Now, over 400 children diagnosed with various heart conditions at Komfanoche Teaching Hospital are virtually on death row because relatives cannot afford their treatment costs. It costs between $2,000 and $60,000 for surgery, depending on whether the condition is simple or complex. Cardiovascular and thoracic surgeon Dr. Isaac Ochre describes the situation as demoralizing for the health professional. Ohiming Teria has more in the following report.
The heart clinic at KATH sees at least 150 child and adult heart cases a week. Ghana and Senegal are the only leading West African countries where open heart surgery is undertaken daily, and there is always a backlog of cases due to high cost. The situation means patients have no option but painfully await death. Dr. Isaac Ochre sums up frustration of cardiologists and cardiac surgeons.
If we take adults and children, I think it's the responsibility of the state to take care of children. Most developed countries, or my country, India, health insurance covers children's surgery. And I think we should do that because most average Ghanaians cannot afford heart surgery for their children. In Kumasi, we have more than 400 children who need surgery, but they cannot afford. And so they will progress finally to heart failure, which we can't do surgery for them. Yeah, children.
On the waiting list.
Waiting list.
Who are just waiting to die.
Yeah, absolutely. Some have died every year. Some of them will die.
18-month-old Yusuf Koli Zakaria is the only male child of Mason, Bashir Zakaria, and wife, Chako Sela Suraya at Adumfa in the Fijakwabe district. He was diagnosed with a complicated congenital heart condition doctors call truncus arteriosus. From a local hospital through Komfanoche to Kolebu, Yusuf is frequently in and out of hospital for recurrent heart failure.
He has one of the complex heart conditions called truncus arteriosus. There's a big hole he had either in the upper two chambers or between the lower two chambers. And there's also something going wrong with the main tubes or vessels that blood is supposed to flow to all parts of the body and then the lungs.
Doctors say the only long-term solution is surgical reconstruction of his heart outside Ghana. Estimates from a hospital in India sent to the National Cardio Center at Kolebu put the cost at $12,000.
This baby, I've been told, has been coming several times for admission because the baby has been having heart failure. And I'm sure I was told that he was even discharged from the Komfanoche about a week ago because he presented with heart failure. So they're becoming recurrent heart failure. So there's cost for recurrent admissions, of course, medication to control the heart failure. But these are just medicine drugs to control the heart failure. They are not managing or treating the actual structural abnormality or abnormality of the heart itself.
Yusuf's poor parents obviously are unable to raise the money. They have come to dead end.
I don't have direct hope that I have to go to this place to get that kind of money. So I can see I've lost hope. But I don't know, by Allah's grace, maybe he can let some help come from somewhere, which I don't.
Dr. Ochre wants children such as Yusuf and several others suffering from similar fate to be taken care by the state.
It's extremely sad. It says Ghana, we have smart people, we have surgeons, we can operate. But I think that we should all advocate. We can forget about the adults, but for children, I think there should be a way that if even the whole nation, you say surgery in children is $6,000, even if government takes about 50%, say $10,000.
From Kumasi for JoyNews, Ohiming Teria reporting.
And Ohiming joins me now via Skype for more on this very disturbing story. Good morning, Ohiming. Hello, Ohiming, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm new.
Awesome. So how bad is the situation, and how are the doctors at the hospital reacting to all of this that's going on?
Yes, for the doctors at Confanoche, the situation is very bad because they have the expertise, they have the knowledge, they have the skill to work these conditions. But unfortunately, because patients, the relatives are unable to afford the care, the surgery, that's the dilemma that they find themselves in. For instance, there are about 6 cardiologists and then cardiac surgeons who have the knowledge, the skills to provide the needed support and care to patients. But unfortunately, because the patients are unable to afford the treatment, there's little that they can do anywhere.
Right. How expensive is it to treat and manage some of these conditions? So let's start with the simple ones. How expensive is it to treat the simple heart conditions?
For a simple heart condition, for instance, a surgery at Panoche would cost not less than $2,000. So even this one, they are doing it with the support of laboratories from the US, China, and Belgium, who provide medicine and then expertise. They call them, for instance, intensive experts who will come and then support the treatment that they do. And I'm told at the National Cardiothoracic Center in Accra, a simple heart surgery will not cost less than $6,000. Sometimes between 6,000 and 8,000. And then with the complicated ones or the complex ones, such as atherosclerosis, that we normally refer to as the hole in heart, it requires not less than $12,000, and that one can only be performed outside Ghana or abroad. So that has been the difficulty for some of these patients, whose majority of patients, their parents are so poor that they can't raise, and they live on less than $10 a day. So it's always a challenge for them to raise, for instance, $10,000 for a treatment abroad.
All right, and what about the more complex ones? How expensive are those?
Yes, the more complex one, such as the atherosclerosis that I mentioned, where the doctors say it involves a surgical operation to reconstruct the heart. That one is a bit complex and it requires that the patient is sent abroad. And the family will need not less than $10,000 before a patient or a relative can't be treated with such a condition. And the doctors believe that the time has come, for instance, for the state to absorb some of these costs for at least the children, because the children are born with the condition, unlike the adults who acquire the condition through their complex living on earth. So for them, if the state can absorb the cost for treatment or surgery for children, that will go a long way to ameliorate the difficulty, the challenges that the families go through in acquiring this treatment for their relatives. And they also mentioned that, for instance, the National Health Insurance can also absorb part of the cost and then make it part of the arrangement that when you have this condition as a child, health insurance would take care of the treatment anywhere.
So, Ohemi, at this point, how much of this condition is covered under the National Health Insurance? Is there any aspect of it at all that's actually covered?
From the interactions that I had with the doctors at Confanoche, I'm not too sure any of these heart conditions are covered under the National Health Insurance because they say it's been individual or philanthropic support. For instance, with the National Cardiothoracic Center, they have a program that they are running with Awake Mineral Water. That one also goes along with support patients with heart conditions. And then, apart from this, when somebody goes to the facility and requires urgent attention, what the hospital does is to release letters to churches and organizations to support with contributions and raise funds for treatment. But many a time, most of these cases, before patients are able to raise money, the condition may have reached advanced stage, which cannot be supported or be treated. And that has been the bane of many heart condition patients. The money involved is so huge that they can't raise it. And before they are able to raise it, they go back to the hospital. It's too late for medical officers to salvage the situation.
Right. So is there any plan for patients with various heart conditions and their families? Does the hospital have something in place, or is there like a fund or some sort of philanthropic advocacy, or what's the plan really for these 400 children?
It's difficult to say the hospital has a plan, apart from the National Cardiovascular Center, which has a program that has been running with a weak mineral water. Besides, every support has been on individual basis. So, for instance, if you have a family member who has this condition and he comes to you, the best you can do is to support in one way or the other. So for the hospital, I'm not too sure of a plan or a fund that they have set in place to cater for some of these exigencies. But it's been the support that they have been receiving from their collaborators in the US, Belgium, and then China, that they are able to treat between 10 and 18 simple heart conditions at Panoche. But the ones that are complicated and complex have to be sent to abroad for treatment.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that, Ohiming, and we hope that as time goes by, you will let us know what's happening with those 400 children. But thank you very much.